Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Just a minute. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Okay, Hare Krishna. Okay, sorry, there was some, I don't know, it was, studio was not, now it's coming, Ananda, can you check?
Okay, let me.
I asked to give, can you give my Bhagavad Gita? What is the big one? No, no, no. You're having trouble sitting down?
No.
You can sit Prabhu on the bench. You can bring another bench also.
It's okay.
हाँ?
Hardbound.
हमारा कार में पीछे है।
Oh, अपनी गाड़ी।
ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। वो नोटिफिकेशन ऑलरेडी इसको। ओम नमो भगवत लीलानंद वाली आपको फोन में देखिए शी इज सेइंग इट्स नॉट कमिंग दैट इसको ऑन YouTube जो आप ट्राई कर 2 times it came into mind when it is it okay ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय Srimad Bhagavad Gita as it is, chapter 2. I have to do today. 21. Yeah, it's working. Earlier was ready. It came 2 times. Earlier also it was there. It comes. Ananda, it is working for everybody. Maybe you have a problem. It was working earlier also. So we are doing 21 today.
Yes. No, 21 I did last. 21 to 25.
You did?
Yeah.
Okay.
I did from 20.
Okay, so 26. So go to chapter 2, 26.
Page number 26.
No, the text number 26. Page number will be what? They have a different book. So page number 88, 89. अथा चैनम नित्य जातम नित्यं वा मन्यसे मृतम तथापि त्वं महाबाहो नैनं शोचितुम् अर्हसि. If, however, you think that the soul or the symptoms of life will always be born and die forever, you still have no reason to lament, O mighty Arjuna. Can you give the microphone this somehow? The battery is gone. Battery is gone. Can check the. Yeah. Yeah, then the battery from inside the. Hare Krishna. So let's read one more time. If, however, you think that the soul or the symptoms of life will always be born and die forever, you still have no reason to lament. O mighty arm. 27. Jatastahi dhruvo mrityu dhruvam janma mritasya cha. Huh?
26.
Yeah, we did 26 earlier. Tasmat apariharyarthe nattam sochitam arhasi. Translation. One who has taken his birth is sure to die. And after death, one is sure to take birth again. Therefore, in the unavoidable discharge of your duty, you should not lament. Text 28. Abhyaktadini bhutani vyaktamadhyani bharata abhyakta nidhanani eva tatra ka paridevana. All created beings are unmanifest in their beginning, manifest in their interim state, and unmanifest again when annihilated. So what need is there for lamentation? 29. Ascharjavat pasyati kaschidinam ascharjavat vadati tatheva chanyah ascharjavat chainamanya srinoti srutvapi idam vedana chaiva kasya. Some look on this soul as amazing. Some describe him as amazing. And some hear of him as amazing. While others, even after hearing about him, cannot understand him at all. Thirty. Dehi nityam avodhyayam dehe sarvasya bharata tasmat sarvani bhutani nattam sochitum arhasi. O descendant of Bharata, he who dwells in the body can never be slain. Therefore, he did not grieve for any living being. Reading purport, this one. The Lord now concludes the chapter of instruction on the immutable spirit soul. He is describing the immortal soul in various ways. Lord Krishna establishes that the soul is immortal and the body is temporary. Therefore, Arjuna as a Kshatriya should not abandon his duty out of fear that his grandfather and teacher, Bhishma and Drona, will die in the battle. On the authority of Sri Krishna, one has to believe that there is a soul different from the material body. Not that there is no such thing as soul, or that living symptoms develop at a certain stage of material maturity resulting from the interaction of chemicals. Though the soul is immortal, violence is not encouraged. But at the time of war, it is not discouraged when there is actual need for it. That need must be justified in terms of the sanction of the Lord and not capricious. And I am reading another purport of 27. Jatasya hi dhruva mrityu dhruva janma mritasya cha tasmat apariharya arte nattam suchitam arasi. One who has taken his part is sure to die, and after death one is sure to take part again. Therefore, in the unavoidable discharge of your duty, you should not lament. Purport. One is to take but according to one's activities of life. And after finishing one term of activity, one has to die to take part for the next. In this way, one is going through this one cycle of birth and death after another without liberation. This cycle of birth and death does not, however, support unnecessary murder, slaughter, and war. But at the same time, violence and war are inevitable factors in human society for keeping law and order. The Battle of Kurukshetra, being the will of the Supreme, was an inevitable event. And to fight for the right cause is the duty of a Kshatriya. Why should he be afraid of our aggrieved at the death of his relatives, since he was discharging his proper duty? He did not deserve to break the law, thereby becoming subjected to the reactions of sinful acts, of which he was so afraid. By avoiding the discharge of his proper duty, he would not be able to stop the death of his relatives, and he would be degraded due to his selection of the wrong path of action. So, this 5 sloka, we will always go on and die for. So, Krishna is saying here, Hare Krishna, welcome everybody. Thank you. So, in continuations of the reading, contents of the Gita summarized, this is a very important chapter because sometimes Krishna is mentioned that some people consider the soul is an amazing thing. Some people consider the soul, even though after understanding, they reject it, that there is an existence of the soul. Some think that it is scientifically they are in a speculative mode. Because it's very hard to understand there is an existence of the soul. So I was just discussing with one of my friends today while coming from San Francisco and just talking about the same subject about soul. And when he was saying that they are at the age of 10th grade, like 20 years back, a sannyasi visited his home and he was asking, how do you prove that we have a soul inside the body? And he was giving him an example that every 5 years, the cell, body cell, dies. So new body cell generates. So the continuity of the body cell gives you the presence of the soul. Because it is dying, you can preserve. Then I gave an example that when a man dies, his body is lying there. Ordinarily, if you ask a 5-year-old child, no, he's sleeping. Because his hand is there, his eye is there, his ear is there, his leg is there, everything, all parts of his body remains intact without having the slightest touch, just normal death I'm talking. So what is then living? That the spark has gone out of this body. Now the question is, why you can't see it? And that is the called process called self-realization. To see the self yourself, to see who you are is self-realization. And why this self-realization is not possible for you to realize immediately? Because that is called the difference between sadhya, sadhana, and sadhaka, and the fourth item is called siddhi. That means sadhana is the process of understanding the self. And the sadhaka is the person who is doing it, you, me, and all. And sadhya, the objective which we are going to get in, that we are, our constitutional position. And siddhi means that by performing this one, you know that who you are. That means you see yourself. Can anybody of you see yourself? What do you see? You see body. Do you see any self? So are you self-realized? We are not self-realized as siddhas, but we are self-realized as sadhakas. You understand? Difference? So now, in this case, as we are sadhakas, somebody may question you or defeat you that you don't understand where the soul is there, you are not scientifically proven. then how can you establish the existence of the soul? Isn't it? But we can ask the question, we all believe that we have mind. Can you show me where the mind is? Can you take a picture of my mind? Can you take a picture of my mind? Then how do you understand that I have a mind? Because by perception. By existence of your activities, we know that you have a mind. By seeing that you have done a nice painting, you know that your child has a good mind. By seeing that your child is respectful to you, you know that he has a good mental attitude, means he has a good developed a good value. So that proves that he has good mind. Similarly, the intelligence also nobody can prove the existence of the intelligence. But nobody can defeat that there is no intelligence. Albert Einstein was an intelligent man. But have you seen his intelligence? We saw his intelligence by his work. We saw his intelligence by the effect. Certain things, the object is not seen by your eyes, but is seen through the effect of the object. And what is the effect of intelligence? Producing the theory of relativity or creating E equal to mc square or so many things. I'm giving an example. So that is its effect of the intelligence. We saw it. That is the product of the intelligence. So similarly, what is the product of the soul? The effect of the soul is the symptoms of life. That is called the consciousness. How do you know that we are alive? Because my hand is moving, my breathing is moving. So that gives me, that's a symptom. That symptom proves that I am alive and I'm alive. Follow it? So now, that doesn't mean that the spirit soul is a no object. The mind is not an object to be seen, but the spirit soul is an object. Means spirit soul has its form, has its feature. So that's the reason it says, Krishna says, first you try to understand through the body. Means first, just like people say, how do you understand India? Then you tell India is through the map. Oh, this is India. Then somebody say it is bound by the Himalayas, by the Bay of Bengal, by Arabian Sea. Then you go and describe different things, right? Then you say that it is also the capital is Delhi and various things. So what you are saying that you are defining various characteristics. So when you are defining about the spirit soul, you start with the basic. Krishna says that you try to understand the spirit soul through your body. Then he says that you try to understand the spirit soul through your mind and intelligence. So he has mentioned there are 81 ways. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Atmaramasya Munayo, Irganta Pyurukrame. Ittam Bhuta Ganahari, Kurbantavai Ahetu. So that's the famous verse in Bhagavatam, which Krishna as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has described the soul 81 ways. The soul is also sometimes called mind, soul is sometimes called also intelligence, soul is sometimes called also body, and soul is sometimes called also Brahman. So various ways it has been based on the context. But we have to understand at least that the various factors, what other people believes. Krishna has given an example. Other people believes that in 26 text he said, however you think that the soul or the symptom of life will always be born and die forever. Not this one, I think. No, it's 29, I think. Yes, 29, I mean to say. Some look on the soul as amazing, some describe him as amazing, and some hear of him as amazing, while others, even after hearing about him, cannot understand him at all. So what does it mean? Some look on the soul as amazing. How do they look on the soul as amazing? Some describe him as amazing. Who are the people who are describing him as amazing? And some hear of him as amazing. Just like you are hearing of soul, maybe you are not concluded, but you are saying that it's amazing. While others, even after hearing, of him cannot understand him at all. Then they reject it after a few times, few attempts. No, I come back to my body sense, What is the value of the self-realization? They forget it and they go back to the normal way of bodily activity. So Krishna has given what people think about the spirit soul. So we should be falling into the, at least not into the category of, even after hearing about him, cannot understand him at all. We should come to the sense of understanding of the spirit soul. Now, if you talk about the text 30, here, this is a very nice verse. O descendant of Bharata, he who dwells in the body can never be slain. Therefore, he need not grieve for any living being. In the Krishna is basically indicating two things here. One is about self-realization, and another point he is mentioning about the context of the war. The subject is not forgotten. They are in the battlefield. He is talking general for the people to understand spirit soul, but at the same time, he is saying that do not necessarily need to grieve, because Arjuna is grieving that he is going to kill his kinsman. And he was lamenting that. And Krishna is here pointing out you do not need to grieve for those because they are spirit soul. And what is saying? Nobody is able to slay them. Can you kill the soul? No, I can kill the body. So he's saying that even though you are killing the body. But using that principles, then he can say, I'm not killing, I can kill, 10 rats, 10 snail, 10 ants. I'm not killing, they are the body. Why are you getting karma? Because they are not the body, right? If you can prove yourself. But what Prabhupada is saying, though the soul is immortal, violence is not encouraged. But at the time of war, it is not discouraged when there is actual need for it. That need must be justified in terms of the sanction of the Lord and not capricious. So, the science of spirit soul, so we understood in a manner the science of Bhagavad Gita or the science of spirit soul, we have a segment. We understood. So, the spirit soul, the science of spirit soul, one has to really examine, just like it says, what's called, careless. One accept it or reject it carelessly, what is coming up, but at the same time, you pay for the price. And so the science of self-realization process should be done patiently. It is not a one-day job. It is not a matter of a few. There are people who have been practicing for thousands and thousands of years. Why do the sages in the earlier ages, they used to go to the jungle, leaving all the comfort? Why do they go to the jungle? For self-realization. And what is it then? Is that objective? Because we do not make a goal in our life for self-realization. We make a goal of our life that my body is happy, all necessary elements for my body, which is not a bad idea. But we never give any importance of the amount of efforts we put to do the self-realization. And there are people who misinterpret and they give a different types of self-realization. Some fancy stuff, people are objectively dancing in the tune of the fancy stuff. But here, very, very capriciously one should not take, but at the same time, when dealing with others, like the spirit soul, if you go back to 27 again, please, 27 text, is saying, therefore, in the unavoidable discharge of your duty, you should not lament. So, in course of, let's say you are a Kshatriya and you understand a Bhagavad Gita and you wanted to go for a war. Prabhupada says, war and violence is also to maintain law and order in the society is necessary. Don't think that just peace, peace, peace. Sorry. What is that he's saying? Last section of the purport. But at the same time, violence and war are inevitable factors in human society for keeping law and order. Such a profound statement. What is saying? Violence and war. So how many wars going on? People want to stop war. People want to stop violence. But these are the things, the effects in order to balance out the society's law and order. But we are not encouraging. We are aspiring to be peaceful. But at the same time, we are not afraid to go for a war. This is the real understanding of Bhagavad Gita. So one should know, that's why the real people, there are some interpreters they call non-violence is the end goal of Bhagavad Gita. But where is this talking? Krishna is inciting. Krishna is giving the justification where there is a need. Ahimsa parama dharma. But hinsa, the second, this is one statement. The second part also, hinsa should not be also abandoned. A policeman is known for his bravery, by his violence, by his ability to administer. Similarly, a Brahmin is known for his forgivingness, and a Sudra is known for his service. Attitude. Parichajyartakam karjam, Sudra karma svabhavajam. So this is the way they know by their characteristics. So by knowing that the spirit soul exists, and also by knowing the self-realization, one should not be misled of the subtle path of dharma, which is when you see there is violence, that means it is not actually completely concluding that war is bad because I am a self-realization, violence is bad because I am a self-realization student. That is not the right understanding. It is a need-based, context-based service. So we have to examine further, just like certain people, those who are spiritual. Oh, you are spiritual people, where Prabhupada has encouraged when in London, they are banning our Rath Yatra and troubling. Prabhupada said, go for protest. Because in order to establish dharma, just by chanting and simply doesn't see. Sometimes he did it. He go for protest. If there is a need, if there is an abuse for the religion, we must object and protest. So dharma means Krishna is establishing that first you understand the basic tenets of dharma. Then you understand the advanced tenets of dharma. Then you try to learn from an advanced devotees about the meaning of dharma. And then only you apply. But you understand the basic part of the dharma and apply in a critical situation, your applications may be misleading or wrong. So that's why at all point of time one must be guided by a spiritual teacher. Have you seen in the earlier days many kings, even Dhritarashtra, who was his spiritual teacher? Dronacharya, Kripacharya, Dhaumya, there are 10 wise people, when Viduras, they will be coming and guiding them. Whether he heard it not, it's up to him. But they will be coming, oh, Dhritarashtra, you should not do this, you should not do this. Their job is to come and guide to the teacher. So, learning the science of spirituality means not to be afraid of understanding some critical subject matter. Sometimes people, there is a difficult situation in the country or the society. People don't talk about it. They are afraid because I am a spiritual person, I don't need to talk about this is Maya. But no, if there is a needed a wisdom in some situations, Krishna put it, so we must give, because that will bring our value of learning of Bhagavad Gita. In any situation, try to apply Bhagavad Gita, because that is the way it is given. In terms of societal changes, in terms of political turmoil, in terms of a war, you can give a commentaries. You can write your own notes. When there is a war is going on, you can write your own notes. Based on my understanding, this is a war of a false ego. Based on my understanding, but still war and these things are come. Based on my understanding, these are the effects of the karma this country is going through. Isn't it? If a country has, a king has done so much of bad for 100 years and they are enjoying, they are going to get the reaction. This is the law of karma. In the kingdom of America, if you are doing ill, a bad thing, you may be excused or you may be forgotten because nobody has captured you. But in the kingdom of God, whatever you have done, that is not excused. How the effect will come to you, it is the ordain of God. But that will come for certain. Even though I was excused because I did all wrong, the state government of California did not catch my faults or mistakes because they are not perfect. You may be exempt from it, but by the will of God, He is perfect. And His agents are working beyond these small, tiny governments. Sun, moon, there are many demigods are there who give punishment like what? Tornado, storm, earthquake, fire. These are all the punishment given by the gods in heaven. For in order to check and in order to make sure that you come to senses. But still we fight for our own ways to defeat those things. Can anybody extinguish the forest fire? No. So this question, this particular section is saying that we understand just like Krishna says, Jatasya hi dhruva mrityu, dhruva janma, mritasya. Means a soul is born and certainly sure to die. And soul is certainly died. That means he is certainly going to take part in it. So this is a very common factor. Earlier slokas we say, what is that sloka? Dainaspina kadehi komaram evanam jara tatha dehantara praptis vidastatra namane. So that sloka we learn, komara jovanam, and we are becoming, I was a young man, now I am becoming old little bit, then we all will become old. Then after old, we'll die. So this is likely a certain cycle. But what is the point? The striking point is what I have to do. That my goal is to learn that I am a spirit soul. But what I'm going to do also after learning spirit soul, then you have to advance yourself to learn from science of self-realization to science of God realization. So this process, because this human life is given one time. You have given all opportunities for one time. After the next life, you say, okay, my life, everything is gone. When you think that this life is end and all and everything, that's it. You're doomed. But if you think that the soul is the continuity of the life, after death also it continues. Because if the person was saying, oh, the soul is there, then how the ghosts are coming? Because they have also said, I was telling to them and telling, the ghost also, they are also spirits, so they don't have a gross body. Then you have to talk about what is a gross body and what is a subtle body. And I said, what is the element of the soul? The element of the soul is mind, intelligence, and false ego. These are the three elements of the soul, which continually passes to the next body. That means it goes from one body to another body with mind, intelligence, and false ego. But it doesn't take your hand, leg, and eyes and hair. If you have made hair dyeing, it's not going to go in the next body. But if you have done your hair dyeing to your mind, which is Suddhi, all the Suddhikaran, that Suddhis will be purified state in the next life. So one should not be misled, one should not be also getting the basic tenet, the soul is going to take birth again, then you are going to die, you are going to take birth again. So this is the fundamental process for understanding the science of self. So now I stop and next 10 minutes, let's open up some questions or reflections, what you have. Hare Krishna. The microphone, the other one. Projit, microphone. Yeah, anybody likes to share? Yeah. Give it to him, he's smiling.
Prabhu. Yeah, the soul is the important part of our life, but somehow we all are covered by this material Maya, and we, in general, day-to-day life, we always forget it. Almost 99% of people, we live in our day-to-day life, right? Since birth, we are all going to temple, we all know, I'm talking about our friends and relatives, but 99% of the people, we all tend to stick to our day-to-day life things only. Where we are praying, like mechanically, we are doing all these things. But no one is sitting and inquiring about all the soul part, right? And this is very important when we are come and attend these kind of classes. And this gives us the knowledge. And thank you very much, Prabhu, for reminding us to think about the soul and this everything. Thank you.
Very good. So that is actually a very nice point. That we tend to forget. That's what we tend to remember. So we always chant Hare Krishna. Prabhupada says that we tend to forget Bhagavad Gita. That's what he said. That's what Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. So that means read every day. Because we are forgetting. That's a nice thing. Because if you remember, then you may say, I know everything. So forgetting, that's a good thing that we are going to read, isn't it? So that means every time, how do we remind Krishna that we are spirit soul? How do you remind yourself that you are a spirit soul? Give some tips, Priya Madhu.
By chanting.
Give the microphone, because we have.
Krishna. I think one way to remind every day is by reading the books, by reading like the Srila Prabhupada's books. Srila Prabhupada keeps us reminding again and again. He says that we are not the body, we are the soul. And he's giving all the process how to do that. So by constantly, by regularly reading every day, that is one way we can remember. Another is by doing the process like chanting and other, associating with devotees. When we see other devotees that they are working on the platform of soul. So I think that is one.
Yeah, I think that's a very valid point, because somehow or other it says that Hare Krishna, you need something? Kale vale koshale mana Krishna niveshita. It's by hook or crook you bring your mind towards Krishna. That's what we say, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will meet with Mayavadis, sloka, that's Krishna, I used to write Krishna, Krishnamati Rastu. Sometimes I used to forget many things. So when he will say, Namo Narayana, Mayavadis will say, I am Narayana, you are Narayana. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will close his eye here and he will say, Krishnamati Rastu. Let me think about Krishna. Because if you think yourself, you are Narayan, Narayan, but you are not Narayan. You are servant of your mini Narayan. Means you are Narayan Das. You all are Narayan Das. You are not Narayan. So we are spirit soul, we are not super soul. Are you super soul? No. So we are spirit soul. And super soul is God. We are small computer, God is supercomputer. That we can understand. Supercomputer does everything. But our supercomputer may be incompetent, but God is such a supercomputer, he is everything. He knows everything. He is Abhijna, he is Swarat, and he is Adipurush and everything. So now you can ask, what is meant by Swarat? When I say, what is the length of your door, front door? So let's tell me.
10 feet by 4 feet.
10 feet, something, but not exactly. How many screws it has?
No idea.
No idea. You don't know a basic thing which you see every day. So how can you say yourself a God? Isn't it? How many steps you go to your second floor? Anybody has 2 floors at home? Priya Madri here?
Yes.
Yeah. How many steps you have? If you don't know how many steps you have in your own house, then how come you can claim yourself your God? Right? So this is the foolishness of the people. I'm not pointing out here. See. So this is the foolishness of the people. So we are spirit soul. That we have to write. Any other reflections? Questions? Yes, give me.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Is it not on?
It's on.
Okay.
No, it's not.
Yes.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. So the soul, the last week, Mataji was taking the class, and so we were during the reflection time. I mentioned the soul is something which gets progressed, like the learning and the self-realization, the consciousness that gets added, and it's a. My understanding was it was constantly changing, but the soul is constant. It doesn't change us. During the conversation, Mataji clarified that. But when you said that the soul is going to go to in the next life, the soul gets transferred to another body, not the body carrying, but the consciousness and the self-realization part. All the thing that you are trying to do in this life, which gets added into the soul, and the soul gets more, how do I call it? Maybe the next life you are tend to be more self-realized, a soul, or how that?
Yeah, so in essence, to explain this thing, so you have two accounts, checking account and savings account, right? You know about checking account, savings account. So let's assume that you have two accounts, checking account and savings. Savings account is your permanent assets. Whatever you got, that is your permanent. Checking account is your current transactions. So the punyas you accumulate, that is your checking account. So that means when it goes to give an award that you have done so much punyas and you got so much of credit, then you are going to get, okay, you won $1 million from a checking account. My point of saying is that you are promoted to a higher state of life based on your punyas. And again, if you have done papas, when you have bad credit and all, then it will be, in your credit profile will be impacted. So you'll go to hell, means certain things will be done. The savings account is the transcendental activities, which is permanent. It is never impacted by anything. So whatever you have stored, it will go to your next life. You have started at 10% this lifetime, you will start from 11% in the following life. So that means it is a continuous process without any disruption. If you have 99%, it's not going to come back to zero. So it will remain there and then moving further. But in the karma, the other checking account is always annihilated and produced and created and destroyed. It means once you consumed it, it's gone. You become a king, 100 years, then you consumed it. Now you are becoming a frog, next time somebody can become a frog. So the point is, the consciousness is a very difficult thing to know how it moves. Don't try to imagine, but imagine in a situation from a spiritual guidance. Based on this lifetime, all our accumulated thing is moving. But who is doing? Karma, Daiva, Netrena. Are you doing it? The king doing it? The president of America is doing it? Done by the king of hell, which is Yamaraj, who is calculating Chitragupta, is calculating all of us. How he's doing it, we don't know. That's the spiritual thing. So, but they are keeping all the track records of everybody. And perfectly, there is no silly mistakes. Perfectly, they are capturing everybody's track record. And they're giving you the report. And that's called the judgment day. So as Ananda explained to you last time, yes, it's a continuation of movement of those accounts forever. So you want to stop those barriers. Why I become king, and again beggar, I become again take part in India, applying for a green card, it took 10 years here, you stayed here and become American citizen, again take part in India, again apply green card. Again, go to Balaji. Balaji give me green card, Then Balaji gave green card again, come back. Again, you take bath in somewhere else. If you are a human being, because you are going to Balaji, you will take bath again as a human being. And again you go and apply for green card. Is it a nice thing? Would you like, oh my God, I've been there 10 years applying for green card, I'm not getting it. Finally got it. But is it nice thing again in the next life you apply the same thing? Not nice, right? So what is nice? Leave all this nonsense. I want to be permanently positioned, permanent green card, permanent citizenship in Vaikuntha. That is the one we are giving you. That is the methods we are giving you. That keep this goal in your life. That is the permanent plan.
I think Prabhu's thing was like, if it is where that.
Give the microphone. Yeah. Where?
If the soul.
If the soul is the same, then how the accumulated, the transcendental activities, right? How, where they are being stored, you are saying, right? How it is adding up to the soul. So it is not adding up to the soul. Soul is always same. It is adding up to our consciousness. So you will take birth in a better consciousness. So you will start from there. So right now, suppose we have done 60% of Krishna consciousness, we are not 100% Krishna conscious, then we won't go back to God. We'll still get born as a human being. And you start from there, from 61%. So that's how it is being stored with the soul in terms of our consciousness and in the mind intelligence. And the intelligence is getting purified.
Thank you. You have last comment here.
Usually, when we explain this concept to people, like you do the read scriptures and chant Hare Krishna, and then explain to people like, in this life, you do so much of effort. They are putting a lot of effort to come to US, and they explain. Right? And the one quote when many people say, like, when you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes, right? You play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. So when people don't get this concept that they're working so hard, 12 hours, 14 hours, 16 hours, they try to build some company, they try to do all this, but they forget the essence of what is the value of human life. So they're working very hard, but there's almost like equivalent to playing a stupid game. The prize they'll get is also like stupid. This life is done. So that concept will not get through unless they realize the essence of that teaching.
That's why it comes. Tesam sadata ektanam bhajatam priti bhurvakam tadam buddhegam tam inam. So God from within heart, He directs you. And when He directs you, when He finds you are sincere. And how to do that? We have to prove that we are sincere, when we have to perform some service towards Him or the Vaishnava, or to the scriptures. So that service is, when if you don't understand, if you are attempting to read Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, and explain to others, distribute to others, that's itself. God is favoring you, so that you will open up some ways so that your understanding or self-realization process will be deepened. Very good, nice point. So now, if the beats are there, Ananda.
No. Yeah.
Oh, you have a question? Give the mic. Yeah.
I have been practicing this yoga for quite some time, and there they are practicing different types of pranayama, and through there they are explaining very clearly how scientifically our body is changing by practicing different types of breathing techniques, and how we are storing oxygen inside our body, and we are removing more carbon dioxide. And because of that, our cells are clearing inside each and our trillion cells of our body is getting cleared. And all our channels, body channels are getting cleared. So because of that, our brain function improving, and we are improving in our advancing in our evolution also on that period. How Mataji was telling, our consciousness is getting cleared. So they are scientifically explaining that by when we constantly practice every day, half an hour or 45 minutes, these techniques. So how scientifically it is proven here? We are chanting, it is a sound form, and I know we were telling that we are engaging all our five senses. So through that, we are clearing our senses. But is there any scientific proof like that, like in yoga path they are telling how we are improving our oxygen system and
Yeah. So there is a proof which was done by some scientist, and it was collected by His Holiness Ramapad Maharaj. He was mentioning one time, one institutes they perform with few candidates about chanting and what is there. So basically, they did a 2 weeks of assessment of the consciousness and the behavior. So chanting a person and how he's reacting during the time of emulation, during the time of reprimands, and the consciousness output. And they found out that also during the time of chanting, the effect. So if you're chanting also, you can see when you're chanting, you can touch your brain like this. You can see various movements are happening. And not only that, the around the consciousness is so much of, because you cannot capture by some mechanical means. It is a consciousness, right? So when they had those reports, we can definitely, I'll dig down into my email or anything if I find. So there was a report produced from this chanting and different processes. And it has been proven that the Hare Krishna chanting, because of the sound vibrations, how people are coming, it is automatically taking them more of this. Because their mind is settling down, because they will take the brain. Brain is not necessarily the output of the scientific system, but still in spiritual sphere, they have calculated the consciousness, the pulse rate, which is the output of this one. It is not necessarily the end result, but they have calculated your nerves, your pulse, your brain behavior, your circulations of body in the air, in each part, each of the, because when you're doing pranayama means you are feeding air circulations to all blood corpuscles, right? So that you get more energy. That's the whole meaning. When you get more energy, mean you get freshness to remember God, to do better service. So when you're chanting also, it has been sprouting energy to the body. So yes, it is already a proven subject matter. And there are some reports, maybe you can find it out when it is available. We can share. Okay.
Thank you.
So thank you very much. So let's do a one round chanting as our usual. Right? Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Inamine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Pasyatya Desatare Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sri Vasadi Gaur Bhaktavrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama.
Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Naam Prabhu ki, Hare Naam Sankirtan ki, Or Pramanande, Hare Hare. So we'll do the Puspanjali and a little bit Arati and nursing prayer. So is there anybody who wants to sing? Should new devotees should be able to sing now.
It's a small announcement.
Yes.
One of the Hare Krishna devotees, she
Give the microphone. Just a minute.
I think you remember this, like we went together to this Fremont, like to Hare Krishna devotee. She was a Democrat now, and she became like Republican now. She's a national director now, intelligence of
Yeah, Tulsi Ram.
Tulsi Gabbard.
Yeah.
So maybe she'll spread the Krishna consciousness all over.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, we pray for her. Thank you very much. Yes.
Thank you.
Pray for her.
Remind that.
So we have this sacred thread. I know we have given. Please give it back. We need to immerse in Ganga, Prayagraj. I think it has been given to all of you, right? Not all of you, but some of you. So now this vow is clear.
Although you want to sit there, you both can sing.
He's practicing it now.
Oh, okay, come on, Sarthak. Come
Come
on.
on, we all sing, we will all sing. Come.
Come sing with mommy.
And any other announcement? So, yeah, by the time we get ready. Today's prasadam is cooked by
Hema.
Hema Mataji. Please give a big round of applause. Huh? Very nice. Okay, so please come here. Get a cushion for them. And our Kumbh Mela is coming up in the month of February. So registration will end in November. Anybody likes to join the Kumbh Mela? You're most welcome to.
Take the
Okay.
mat.
Any other announcement? So Kartik Purnima is over
Saturday
yesterday.
will be a Thanksgiving feast.
Yes, I produced the next Saturday will be. So I think it's already published in our WhatsApp group, the calendar schedule for this year, right? Suresh Prabhu?
Yes.
So come closer so that this can. Okay, that's okay. We can move that. So and then next Saturday will be Thanksgiving dinner, a special dinner. And the following week we are not having class on 30th of November. And again December the schedule is there. There will be December 15th will be a Kirtan night. We'll do full-fledged Kirtan. And 22nd will be Christmas dinner, and then we'll end this year. And 28th and January 4th will be off. Break time for devotees to take some rest. Okay, that's all for today, and then we'll do the. I didn't get the table. Did you get?
I have,
Sadhu, you have a table?
I have a table.
Okay.
I-
The table. I put the table. Okay.
It's not too big, it's.
That would be it.
Please do it there.
No, it's a table.
Yeah. Keep that. So they have already microphone. Whatever, they can use this one. That's fine. Sing now.
So I'm going to him.
Your
Hold
life.
it, hold it. Hold it.
Yeah. You can post it. Namaste Narasaya. Offer flower, Tama.
Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama,
Hare Hare. That's Rita Gaur Hari Bol.
Hare Bol, Hare Bol, Hare Bol, Sai Gaur Hare Bol,
Sai
Hare Bol, Hare Bol, Hare Bol, Sai Gaur Hare Bol. Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Sai Gaur Hari Bol.
Sai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Sai Gaura
Hari Hari Bol.
Jai Shri Prabhupada ki Jai. Mahaprasade Govinde Namo Brahmane Vaishnave
Namo Brahmane Vaishnave.
Salpa Punya Patam Rajan Viswasanaiva Jayate Sarira Vidyaja Jodendriya Kahikal Shive Phele Visaya Sagare Tar Madhe Jivati Lobhamaya Sudurmati Take Jeta Katina Sansare Krishna Bada Daya Maya Karibare Jivajaya Saprasadam Nadilo Bhai Sehi Annamrita Pao Sri Sri Radha Krishna Gunagao Premida Ko Sri Chaitanya Nitai Jai Nimahi Jai Nitai Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Sri Sri Mahaprasadam ki Srila Prabhupada ki Gaur Bhimanande Hare Hare Bol. Thank you very much. So we'll start prasadam and then please have it. And then I'll clean out this room. Please vacate all this paraphernalia in this room and then see you next time. Thank you again. Jai Hare Krishna. Thank you.